What if every major breach starts with a whisper? Not a 0 day, a single email. Today, we're going to follow that whisper end to end. From the first suspicious header, to the process that gave the attacker away, to the memory artifact that proves the case. No theatrics. Just the way elite responders actually do it. Stay with me. When an email lands in your inbox, it carries 3 signals that don't care about brand, style, or story. Identity, intent, infrastructure. Identity answers, who is allowed to send on behalf of this domain? That's where authentication controls like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC show up. If identity doesn't align, if the sending IP, domain keys, or policy posture fail, you don't ignore it. You slow down. Intent lives in the content. Links that feel urgent. Attachments with clean names but dirty payloads. Your job is simple. Extract, expand, and verify. Never click in place. Infrastructure hides in the headers. Received paths, reply to pivots. Time zones that don't match the sender's story. You're not judging people, you're judging systems. Here's the frame. If identity misaligns and intent is persuasive, you escalate. If identity aligns but infrastructure is inconsistent, you escalate. If all 3 line up, you move fast, because the adversary already did. We convert the email into IOCs, indicators of compromise, domains, hashes, file names, and we corroborate them, not just look them up. Why? Because threat intel isn't trivia, it's triangulation. Cross-reference indicators in multiple sources, watch for recency, and pay attention to families and infrastructure reuse. The goal is confidence, not noise. Triage is not glamorous, but it is decisive. We start with known good collection, standard artifacts, consistent paths, repeatable outputs. Why this matters? Because you're not just trying to find evil, you're building an audit trail you can defend. To leadership, to legal, to yourself in a week when you've forgotten the exact command you ran at 2:17 a.m. Most attackers leave time prints. On Windows, your quick wins are evidence of execution and user activity. Think Prefetch for last run times and counts. Jump lists for what this user opened. Shortcut LNK files for paths and timestamps. And the timeline database for focus time that tells you which window had their attention. Then there's the Registry. Amcache for recently run programs. UserAssist for execution via Explorer. ShimCache, BAM/DAM for historical presence and background activity. If the email was the whisper, this is the footprint. This can be curated. Memory is honest. We snapshot RAM and ask 3 questions. What's running? Process lists, scans for unlinked processes. Who's talking? Network tables, or a fallback to strings PCAP carve-outs when native calls are unstable. What's injected? Look for regions with execute permissions and no file backing. Hunt for MZ headers in unexpected places. If we suspect kernel-level games, we sweep for hooks, SSDT, drivers, callbacks, then validate against a baseline. This is where an amateur guesses. A professional verifies. Collection leads to hypothesis. Hypothesis leads to targeted search. Targeted search leads to corroboration. And then we do it again. Smaller, tighter, faster. Each loop narrows uncertainty. Each loop hardens the narrative. Weaponization, delivery, exploitation, command and control. Pivot, discovery, privilege escalation, credential access, lateral movement, collection, exfiltration, impact. You don't have to memorize the names. You just have to map your evidence to their sequence. Because once you know where you are in the chain, you know what they already did and what they'll try next. If this felt calm, precise, and strangely empowering, good. Because the best defenders aren't loud. They're exact. And they start listening when the breach is still a whisper.